But then here they're just a little bit more shaping into I just standard clip it. This standard clip plugin can take a lot, and the hard clipping of that initial transient is actually what I was after for this sound. I wanted the transient to really hit you in the face. Monoed the entire kick as well, I believe. No, that's just the various layers. They're mostly monoed, apart from these effects layers. Really gets you dead center for a hard-hitting kick. If that's something you want to take away from this, is to experiment with things like clipping and gain staging and layering with your kicks here. Bass stab groove section. Now this was a sound from the original version, which I started the original version for this song November 2023. It's come a long way since then. The entirely old version was also sent to Revealed as a demo, but after a bit of back and forth, they felt it wasn't right for them. But a year later, I came back with a complete redo, and they loved it. So this is an element that's stuck with the from the original demo. This bass stab groove, really, again, dark, punchy, industrial. Not much other than just going ham with your distortion and your transient shaping. I can walk it through a bit here. This is a sample from one of my mates, actually. Shout out to Josh T. Yeah, really sort of, aggressive. If you know, a bit of a Melbourne kind of feel. If I was to stretch it out. This second layer is probably our most unorthodox part of the entire song, really. It's a Nexus guitar layer. I think it's simply just Nexus power chords. There we are. Yeah, it sounds pretty digital when you solo it, but in the context of everything else, I find it really works well together, supporting the rest of the layers. So just basic kind of processing on here. It's pretty stock standard. Cleaning up, you could say that's a bit of a high shelf, couldn't you? Sometimes, especially with good EQs such as Pro Q3, you can really get into pretty extreme shelves, cuts, dips, and really extreme Q values depending on what you need. Creating these little MIDI grooves with these samples, I feel, you can add little variation to your phrases. I feel it's a really cool part of this track as well. Some of the drum work I've done, the sounds themselves and some of the selections are pretty simple, if I'm honest. It's just a little bit of reverb on it for a bit more atmosphere and clap there. A bit more brighter, as I said before. This fill here, it's just a few samples put together. Building your own fills rather than dragging in, for example, okay, so this is different because I've actually used these one shots and split it up, but dragging in one Kashmir's fill samples and putting it there, you can hear your drum fill in other songs as well, which again, this is more for like people who aren't just starting out. If you're just starting out, these samples are here for a reason to be dragged and dropped in. I'd best go for it. But if you want to take things to a bit of a more polished stage, building your own feels and sounds, it's simple, but it's not in another record, and you can customize it to your liking. We've got a Maddox layer, audio react layer, an Exfer layer. That's another thing as well, is some of this Exfer samples probably from like 2005. That Exfer is Dead Mouse's Steve Duda. There's little old samples. You can revive old samples like this and, do pretty cool things by layering as well. Like this is... You find another song in 2025 using Exfer samples, but dare I say, crate digging through some of your older samples is something I pretty recommend doing. If it's just like a supporting layer like this, you can find pretty cool things when developing your hat stacks and all that.